Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Jennifer Jason Leigh is an American actress, writer, and producer, widely regarded for her intense, transformative performances and her willingness to take on complex, often unglamorous roles. Born Jennifer Leigh Morrow on February 5, 1962, in Hollywood, California, she grew up surrounded by the entertainment industry. Her father, Vic Morrow, was a well-known actor, and her mother, Barbara Turner, was a respected screenwriter. Leigh adopted her stage name early in her career, using her middle name and adding Jason in honor of a family friend. She began acting professionally in her teens, with early appearances on television in shows like Baretta and The Waltons. Her breakout came in the 1980s with a string of acclaimed performances, most notably in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982, where she portrayed Stacy Hamilton, a sweet but naive high schooler navigating the complexities of teenage relationships. This role showcased her ability to bring depth and authenticity to even lighthearted material. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, Leigh established herself as one of the most fearless actresses of her generation. She gravitated toward independent films and character-driven dramas, earning praise for her portrayals of vulnerable, damaged, or morally ambiguous women. Standout performances included Last Exit to Brooklyn, 1989, where she played a tragic prostitute, Miami Blues, 1990, Single White Female, 1992, Georgia, 1995, a project she co-produced and which starred her alongside Mayor Winningham, and Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, 1994, in which she gave a lauded performance as writer Dorothy Parker. Leigh's dedication to her craft is legendary. She often undergoes physical transformations and immerses herself deeply into her characters. In addition to acting, she has ventured into writing and directing, co-writing and co-directing The Anniversary Party, 2001, with Alan Cumming, a semi-improvised ensemble drama based loosely on their own experiences in Hollywood. Her later career has seen her continue to balance independent projects with high-profile work. She received widespread critical recognition, and her first Academy Award nomination, for her role as the volatile outlaw Daisy DeMergue in Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, 2015. Leigh has also embraced television, appearing in acclaimed series such as Weeds, Twin Peaks, The Return, Atypical, and Hunters. Known for her intelligence, versatility, and uncompromising approach to acting, Jennifer Jason Leigh has earned a reputation as an actor's actor. She remains admired not only for her performances but for her steadfast commitment to challenging roles, often eschewing mainstream glamour in favor of truth, grit, and emotional complexity. Jennifer Jason Leigh's career is one of the most fascinating in American cinema because she has consistently prioritized artistic risk over conventional stardom. Her filmography is full of work that reflects a deep respect for character, story, and emotional truth. After Fast Times at Ridgemont High brought her initial attention, she began deliberately avoiding stereotypical ingenue roles. In Flesh and Blood, 1985, directed by Paul Verhoeven, she played a 16th-century noblewoman kidnapped by mercenaries, showing early signs of her willingness to portray morally complex figures. She continued to draw acclaim for Last Exit to Brooklyn, 1989, based on Hubert Selby Jr.'s controversial novel. Her performance as Tra-La-La, a prostitute whose arc spirals from swagger to devastation, remains one of her most haunting and celebrated early roles. The early 1990s solidified Leigh's standing in Hollywood as a fearless dramatic actress. In Miami Blues, 1990, she played a sunny, naive call girl opposite Alec Baldwin's dangerous ex-con. In Backdraft, 1991, she had a more mainstream role but still brought a grounded humanity to the film. Single White Female, 1992, a psychological thriller, became a commercial hit. And Leigh's portrayal of the unhinged roommate Hetty Carlson remains an iconic example of 1990s suspense cinema. 1994 was pivotal for Leigh. In Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, she captured the wit, cynicism, and vulnerability of Dorothy Parker so convincingly that critics considered it one of the best performances of the decade. She followed it with Georgia, 1995, a passion project written by her mother, in which she portrayed a self-destructive singer desperate for approval from her more successful sister. Leigh sang live in the film, deliberately off-key in places, underscoring her commitment to realism over vanity. Other memorable works from the 1990s and 2000s include The Hudsucker Proxy, 1994, Dolores Claiborne, 1995, Kansas City, 1996, Existence, 1999, and Road to Perdition, 2002. She also co-wrote and co-directed The Anniversary Party, 2001, which blended fiction and personal experience, and showcased her ability to create an intimate, collaborative atmosphere for actors. In later years, Leigh transitioned smoothly into both character roles in independent cinema and prestige television. Her performance as Daisy DeMerg in The Hateful Eight, 2015, was ferocious, darkly comedic, and unflinchingly physical, earning her Oscar, Golden Globe, and BAFTA nominations. She has also appeared in Good Time, 2017, Annihilation, 2018, Possessor, 2020, and in acclaimed TV series like Atypical, 2017 to 2021, where she played the loving but complicated mother of a teenager on the autism spectrum. Off-screen, Jennifer Jason Leigh is known for her privacy and aversion to the celebrity spotlight. She rarely gives interviews and avoids the red carpet lifestyle, preferring to let her work speak for itself. Industry peers often describe her as an actor's actor, someone who disappears so fully into roles that she's almost unrecognizable from one project to the next. Her enduring influence lies in her example, an actress who never shies away from difficult, even uncomfortable subject matter, and who has built a career not on image, but on truth, empathy, and craft. Early life and influences. Jennifer Jason Leigh was born into a family steeped in the arts. Her father, Vic Morrow, was an actor known for Combat, 1962 to 1967, and films like Blackboard Jungle, 1955. Her mother, Barbara Turner, was a screenwriter who valued realism and emotional honesty in storytelling. Her parents divorced when she was just 2 years old, and Leigh was raised primarily by her mother, who encouraged her artistic ambitions but never romanticized the entertainment industry. Leigh also has a half-sister, Carrie Ann Morrow, and a full sister, actress Mina Beatty. She studied acting at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute in Los Angeles during her teenage years. The Strasberg method, with its deep emotional excavation, would become a foundation for her immersive, transformative performances. Leigh later credited her acting style to a combination of Strasberg training and a natural tendency toward empathy and observation. Breakthrough and reputation for fearlessness. Leigh's early TV work in the late 1970s and early 1980s gave her practical experience, but her true breakthrough came in the independent film world. She quickly built a reputation for commitment to difficult roles, often involving characters on society's fringes, dealing with trauma, addiction, or psychological instability. Critics admired her bravery. She was known to lose herself in a part to the point where she could be physically and emotionally unrecognizable between projects. For example, In Last Exit to Brooklyn, 1989, she reportedly lived in character throughout filming, enduring harsh conditions without complaint to preserve authenticity. Roger Ebert praised her for capturing the tragic dignity of her role, calling it one of the finest performances of the year. Key works and style. Leigh is often associated with directors who value actors' creative freedom, such as Robert Altman, Quentin Tarantino, David Cronenberg, and the Coen brothers. She gravitates towards scripts that explore flawed humanity rather than polished fantasy. Notable highlights: Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, 1994. She studied hours of archival recordings to perfect Dorothy Parker's sardonic wit and distinctive voice. Her performance earned multiple critics' awards. Georgia, 1995. A deeply personal project, script by her mother, where she embodied raw desperation without softening the edges. Existence, 1999, worked with David Cronenberg in a surreal science fiction thriller. Balancing mystery and sensuality. The Hateful Eight, 2015, Tarantino encouraged her to lean into the physical and comedic brutality of Daisy DeMergue, resulting in one of her most flamboyant and risky performances. Work ethic and philosophy. Leigh has said that she chooses roles based on truthfulness rather than glamour. She does not shy away from characters who may be unlikable or hard to watch if she believes they are emotionally honest. This has led to an unusual career balance. She's equally comfortable in gritty indie dramas and stylized genre films. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she has resisted the Hollywood image machine, rarely appearing in tabloids, carefully selecting interviews, and refusing to conform to career-safe choices. Her process is often intensely research-driven. She'll adopt the posture, speech rhythms, and even physical ailments of her characters for the duration of a shoot. Recent work and legacy. In the 2010s and 2020s, Leigh embraced both independent cinema and streaming-era television. Beyond atypical, she made memorable appearances in Good Time, 2017, as a frazzled bail bondsman and possessor, 2020, where she played a corporate assassin handler in Brandon Cronenberg's psychological sci-fi. Her legacy is one of integrity, adaptability, and craft. While she has not pursued superstar status, she has become a touchstone for actors seeking to prioritize artistry over fame. Directors prize her for being collaborative, fearless, and free of ego. Younger performers often cite her as proof that a career built on challenging roles can be as enduring and more fulfilling than one built on celebrity. 1. Childhood and early formation, 1962–late 1970s. Jennifer Jason Leigh was born February 5, 1962 in Hollywood, California, into an environment steeped in both creative opportunity and emotional complexity. Her father, Vic Morrow, was known for his tough, commanding screen presence. But her parents' divorce when she was 2 left her largely in the care of her mother, Barbara Turner, a screenwriter with an eye for emotional realism. Growing up, Leigh wasn't pushed into acting for fame's sake. Instead, she was introduced to it as a craft, something serious that required discipline and study. She was naturally introverted, observing human behavior in fine detail, something that later fed into her uncanny ability to embody wildly different characters. By her teenage years, she was training at the Lee Strasberg Theatre and Film Institute, where she absorbed method acting principles. Even as a teen, she stood out for her willingness to go deep into character psychology rather than simply perform lines. 2. Early career and breakthrough, late 1970s to 1980s. Leigh began working in television with small guest spots on shows like Baretta and The Waltons. Her earliest film appearances were in TV movies such as The Young Runaways, 1978, and The Best Little Girl in the World, 1981, where she played a teenager battling anorexia, a sign of her willingness to tackle difficult subject matter from the start. Her first major big-screen breakthrough was Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982, where she played Stacy Hamilton. While marketed as a teen comedy, Leigh's performance added depth to what could have been a throwaway, high school crush role, portraying Stacy's vulnerability and awkwardness with honesty. By the late 1980s, Leigh had already developed a reputation for going to extremes for her art. In Last Exit to Brooklyn, 1989, she played Tra-La-La, a brash sex worker whose storyline turns brutally tragic. She approached the role with such realism that critics called it fearless and devastating. This performance cemented her status as one of the boldest actresses of her generation. 3. 1990s, the decade of mastery. The 1990s were Jason Leigh's most artistically acclaimed period. She balanced independent cinema with occasional Hollywood projects, always gravitating toward challenging, psychologically rich material. Miami Blues, 1990, played a sunny but naive hooker opposite Alec Baldwin in a darkly comic crime thriller. Single White Female, 1992, created one of cinema's most memorable psychological thriller antagonists as Hetty Carlson, a lonely woman whose obsession turns dangerous. Mrs. Parker in the Vicious Circle, 1994, as Dorothy Parker, she gave a career-defining performance, meticulously recreating Parker's speech, wit, and melancholy. Many critics called it the best work of her career. Georgia, 1995, a passion project written by her mother, Leigh played a deeply flawed singer yearning for her sister's approval. Her raw, off-key singing was deliberate, an unflinching portrayal of self-destruction. Dolores Claiborne, 1995, worked alongside Kathy Bates in Stephen King's adaptation, playing a daughter confronting family trauma. Kansas City, 1996, collaborated with Robert Altman, further establishing herself as a favorite of auteur filmmakers. Existence, 1999, entered David Cronenberg's world of surreal sci-fi, blending paranoia and sensuality. During this decade, she earned the nickname the Queen of Independent Cinema for her refusal to chase mainstream romantic comedy or action heroine roles. 4. 2000s, expanding roles and directorial work. In the early 2000s, Leigh explored filmmaking herself. She co-wrote, co-directed, and co-starred in The Anniversary Party, 2001, with Alan Cumming. The film, shot largely in her home, blurred fiction and reality, using a semi-improvised style to capture the emotional chaos beneath the surface of a Hollywood friend group. Acting highlights from this era included Road to Perdition, 2002, played a quiet but pivotal supporting role in Sam Mendes's crime drama. In the Cut, 2003, took on a small role in Jane Campion's erotic thriller. Margot at the Wedding, 2007, played Nicole Kidman's sister in Noah Baumbach's tense family drama. 5. 2010s to 2020s, resurgence and reinvention. Leigh's return to high-profile acclaim came with Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, 2015, where she played Daisy DeMergue, a feral, foul-mouthed outlaw. The performance was darkly funny, physically demanding, and brimming with menace, earning her Oscar, Golden Globe, and BAFTA nominations. Since then, she has blended indie and mainstream projects. Good Time, 2017, played a weary bail bondsman in the Safdie brothers crime drama. Atypical, 2017 to 2021, took on a warmer, more grounded role as the mother of a teenager on the autism spectrum. Annihilation, 2018, portrayed a coolly enigmatic psychologist leading a dangerous expedition. Possessor, 2020, returned to the Cronenberg family, this time Brandon Cronenberg, for a chilling sci-fi thriller. 6. Acting philosophy and legacy. Jennifer Jason Leigh is known for immersive preparation. She fully inhabits her roles physically and psychologically. Aversion to celebrity culture. She gives few interviews and avoids gossip-driven press. Respect from peers, widely regarded as an actor's actor by directors and co-stars. Her influence is particularly strong among independent actors and actresses who see her as proof that artistic integrity can sustain a decades-long career without constant reinvention for market trends. 7. Complete chronological career timeline. Highlights with commentary, 1970s to 1980s. Early work and breakthrough. 1976-1979 TV appearances in Baretta, The Waltons. The Young Runaways, formative acting experience, still a teenager. 1981 The Best Little Girl in the World, TV, powerful portrayal of a teen with anorexia. Foreshadowed her attraction to emotionally intense roles. 1982 Fast Times at Ridgemont High, breakout role as Stacy Hamilton. She stood out among a cast of future stars, Sean Penn, Phoebe Cates. Judge Reinhold. 1985 Flesh and Blood, Paul Verhoeven. A medieval action drama with unflinching sexuality and brutality. Showcased her comfort with physical and emotional extremes. 1989 Last Exit to Brooklyn, transformative role as Tra-La-La. Widely hailed as fearless and heartbreaking. 1990 to 1999. The Golden Decade. 1990 Miami Blues, paired dark humor with innocence as Baldwin's love interest. 1991 Backdraft, one of her few big-budget studio films of the period. 1992 Single White Female, psychological thriller classic, made Hetty Carlson one of the decade's iconic villains. 1993 Short Cuts, Robert Altman, part of a massive ensemble. Worked seamlessly in Altman's improvisatory style. 1994 Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, career-defining performance. Awards from critics groups, BAFTA nomination. 1995 Georgia, Raw. Emotionally draining. Some critics called it too painful to watch, a testament to its realism. 1995 Dolores Claiborne, emotionally complex mother-daughter dynamic with Kathy Bates. 1996 Kansas City, another Altman collaboration, immersed herself in the 1930s jazz world. 1999 Existence, Cronenberg's surreal biotechnology thriller. Perfectly balanced weirdness with sensual danger. 2000 to 2010, experimentation and behind the camera. 2001 The Anniversary Party, co-wrote, co-directed. Notable for its improvisation and real-life Hollywood friend group cast. 2002 Road to Perdition, played Tom Hanks's sister-in-law, brief but poignant presence. 2007 Margot at the Wedding, tense. Layered performance opposite Nicole Kidman, perfect fit for Noah Baumbach's acerbic style. 2008 Synecdoche, New York, played multiple roles in Charlie Kaufman's meta-narrative. 2010 Present. Resurgence and enduring relevance. 2015 The Hateful Eight, Oscar, BAFTA, and Golden Globe nominations. Performance blended menace and absurd comedy. 2017 Good Time, scene-stealing turn in a gritty Safdie brothers crime film. 2017 to 2021 Atypical, TV success, showing her warmth and versatility. 2018 Annihilation, cerebral sci-fi role as a detached scientist. 2020 Possessor, chilling performance in Brandon Cronenberg's unsettling sci-fi. 8. Awards and recognition. While Jennifer Jason Leigh has not been a trophy collector on the scale of some contemporaries, she has earned enormous critical respect. Academy Award nomination, The Hateful Eight, 2015, BAFTA nomination, Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, 1994. The Hateful Eight, 2015, Golden Globe nomination, The Hateful Eight, 2015, Numerous critics' awards for Mrs. Parker, Georgia, and Last Exit to Brooklyn. 9. Personal life. Leigh married filmmaker Noah Baumbach in 2005. They had a son in 2010 and divorced in 2013. She's fiercely private, avoiding publicity about her personal affairs. Friends and collaborators describe her as warm and generous in person, but utterly disciplined and transformative on set. 10. Artistic legacy. Jason Leigh's career is a testament to artistic integrity over fame. She's been called the Meryl Streep of the indie world for her chameleon-like adaptability. Hollywood's quiet radical for rejecting safe roles. An actor's actor, respected deeply by peers for her craft-first approach. Her influence extends to actors like Greta Gerwig, Elizabeth Moss, and Florence Pugh, who cite her courage in role selection as a model. 11. Annotated filmography, selected works with context and behind-the-scenes notes, 1970s to 1980s. Foundations and Breakthrough. Baretta, TV, 1976, early guest role. One of her first professional acting credits. The Waltons, TV, 1977, brief appearance, helped her gain on-set experience. The Young Runaways, 1978, TV movie, part of a cautionary drama about troubled youth. The Best Little Girl in the World, 1981, TV, played a teenager battling anorexia, demonstrated emotional depth well beyond her years. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982, Amy Heckerling, breakthrough role as Stacy Hamilton. Fresh-faced innocence masking deeper vulnerability. Flesh and Blood, 1985. Paul Verhoeven, period drama with graphic content. Leigh fully committed to the physical demands. Last Exit to Brooklyn, 1989. Uli Adele, transformative as Tra-la-la. Critics called it one of the bravest performances of the decade. 1990 to 1999. Peak artistic period. Miami Blues, 1990. George Armitage, balanced sweetness and edge opposite Alec Baldwin's dangerous charm. Backdraft, 1991, Ron Howard, entered a major studio blockbuster, supporting role amidst an ensemble. Single White Female, 1992, Barbette Schroeder, psychological thriller, created one of the era's most iconic antagonists. Short Cuts, 1993. Robert Altman, part of a sprawling ensemble adapting Raymond Carver stories. Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, 1994, Alan Rudolph, embodied Dorothy Parker's wit and melancholy. Meticulous preparation included studying Parker's speech patterns from archival audio. Dolores Claiborne, 1995, Taylor Hackford, played a woman confronting repressed family trauma. Adapted from Stephen King. Georgia, 1995, Ulu Grossbird, produced by Leigh, deeply personal project written by her mother. Her raw, off-key singing was a deliberate acting choice. Kansas City, 1996. Robert Altman immersed herself in 1930s dialect and culture. Existence, 1999, David Cronenberg. Sci-fi mind bender where Leigh balanced eroticism and paranoia. 2000 to 2010. New Directions. The Anniversary Party, 2001, with Alan Cumming, co-directed and co-wrote. Intimate, semi-improvised drama shot mostly in her home. Road to Perdition, 2002. Sam Mendes, small but emotionally rich role. In the Cut, 2003, Jane Campion, brief appearance in a tense erotic thriller. Margot at the Wedding, 2007. Noah Baumbach, played opposite Nicole.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.